8mm bolts all the way around this, and it's still not going to be great for you guys seeing this. But I also need to see it too, so we're going to tip it a little bit this way. All right, there's 11 bolts around the outside. And these you don't actually have to pull, these are just oil filter bolts there. I don't believe there is one underneath here. So we need to pull this to pull the clutch cover. We do need to pull this cover. Here is the oil filter. It's got a HF123 filter in it. Obviously not going to reuse that, but there is the 8mm down in there that we needed to get out. Oh, we got one up here. And now I lost count where we were. I believe we're somewhere around the 13 range. All right, you know that we got all the bolts out because that cover just kind of started falling off of there. Broke free when we did that. Clutch adjustment is here. I'm gonna pull that cover so you guys know what that looks like. 2 Phillips screws. Your oil fill is here. Your oil check for checking oil level is here. And it's a window, so it's supposed to be between the 2 lines there. And there is your clutch adjust. Now to adjust these, take a 12mm wrench, loosen up the lock nut here, and then you take this screw here. And what I like to do, well, this one might be, well, you know what? We loosen that cover, we're not gonna be able to adjust that clutch. Scratch that. If you loosen that cover's not on there all the way, you will be pushing your clutch cover off and doing absolutely nothing to adjusting the clutch. I do have other videos of me adjusting clutches on Bayous, so check those out. There's your clutch cover there. There's your arm that we were starting to adjust, but then didn't. There is your centrifugal clutch is here. That's what they call it, centrifugal clutch. The more throttle you give it, the more it pushes these shoes out, these 3 shoes there, engaging this clutch here. Now, this should spin freely one way, and the other way will spin the entire motor. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure you've got a good one-way bearing in behind this centrifugal clutch. Here is your clutch basket here with the friction and steel plates. I need to grab a couple larger sockets to remove these. Several different sizes, large sockets. I just grabbed a handful of them. This actually we should be using a deep well socket on this. So I need to grab one of those quick. (15/16). And when I'm spinning this over, you want to make very certain that this motor doesn't turn over. So what I do, take something, just be able to push on it with my thumb as we loosen up. That's a regular threaded bolt, so not reverse threaded or anything. Now, what we're going to do is, see there's 2 grooves in this clutch basket. To get this centrifugal clutch off without removing the clutch basket first, you can take, well, you can't remove the clutch basket completely first, but you could loosen the clutch basket and remove them together, or you can line it up with this groove or the groove that's right here. Then you're able just to slide that clutch up that groove. Otherwise, this gear right here, if you were to try to slide it up where there wasn't a groove, you're going to hit that clutch basket there. So here is the one-way bearing that I was telling you about. You know, inspect that, make sure it's in really good condition. It'll spin fairly easily with fingers or anything turning, but the other direction you want to make sure it's sticking. Now we're going to pull the clutch basket apart. We've got 4 10mm bolts there. Again, you want to make sure it doesn't spin. You want to make sure when you're removing these, I didn't do it as good as I should, but make sure you go in a crisscross pattern and loosen them up just slightly at a time. That way they're not putting a ton of pressure on each side of that plate. You can potentially break off these aluminum posts here or break your holder there. All right, we've got another, I believe this one's a 22mm bolt in there, or a nut. Again, take and hold it. I use my thumb, hold against the post there. Spin that off. Let me know if you need torque values on these bolts there. Now you're able to pull that clutch off completely. I then take the springs and that plate, set it back on there, and just kind of snug everything up. Keeps everything together. There's a lot of plates, steel plates there, and friction plates, and if you don't put them back together, they can kind of fall all over the place. Now on this, I had somebody just ask me about this. You've got to take and put pressure down on this plate to get these bolts started. And if you have a tool that looks like this, it makes it very easy. Just put a 10mm on a screwdriver, and then you're able just to put pressure down and start screwing those at the same time. Once you get them started, it's easy. You'll figure it out.